And for Pennsylvania, their 12-player continuous batting order lines up like this with Dean Hamilton, the table setter, Braden Pfeiffer, Tyler Neal, Severio Longo we have seen. The pitcher, Grayson Gage, Gavin Caudle, Rocco DeBronzo, Brody Gage, Ryan Ewell, Wes Steves, William Siviter, and Tyler Wexler having to deal with Reese Toney. And in talking with their manager, Brian Thomas, before the game, he said he had a decision to make. Either start Reese Toney, who has been their ace all summer, or go with Brady Thomas. He decided to go with Reese, and Brady would be the first one out of the bullpen. Father calls him kind of an old soul and thinks he would be well suited to come out of the pen in a sticky spot if that's where they get.
Yeah, it's a nice pitching setup right there for the team from D.C. And there's Brad Hamilton, the manager of PA. And I think for Reese Toney, this first inning is really important because the PA offense throughout this region tournament, they've really not let anybody get started. They just scored runs from the jump in every game and overwhelmed their opponents.
And so Reese Toney, a 5'4" 12-year-old who attends the field school. His father is one of the coaches on the staff, David Toney, and David calls his son the Beast.
All right. Hey, Reese Toney was 3 for 3 with a walk to start this tournament. He was really good on offense, too.
Yeah, and he was a beast in the games leading up to get here to Bristol as well. His first pitch is a called strike to Dean Hamilton. Dean, the son of the manager who we just saw in the first base dugout, Brad Hamilton. And in the first matchup against D.C. this week, he went 3 for 4, puts this one in play. Taken on the second hop by Lan O'Rourke. And there's one away.
Good start for Capitol Hill right there.
Number 8, Braden Pfeiffer.
And now Braden Pfeiffer, the shortstop for Pennsylvania. And you may be able to tell that the rain has eased up, at least for the moment, and that's kind of what we're expecting. We started in a steady rain, and it's going to be on and off all morning and into the early afternoon before the heavy stuff is expected to come late afternoon into the evening. Grounded right side. This time it's the first baseman, Casey Meyer, who wins the race to the base for out number 2.
Well, we've got wet grass, and so any ground ball, the field is just going to chew that up. And that, I think, will be to the pitchers in their favor.
Well, the beast offensively for Pennsylvania has been Tyler Neal. Against D.C. the first time, 3 for 4 with a triple and an RBI. And then against Maryland, 3 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. And a 2-run triple. So add it all up, he is 6 for 7 this week.
That'll work. He's a good-looking left-handed hitter, too. It's a beautiful swing.
And by the way, there is a watch party going on at the Green Parrot right now, back home in Newtown, PA. Brad Hamilton wanted us to say hello to everybody back there. That ball is ripped foul. Now we've seen the right side of this D.C. infield defense. Brady Thomas is the shortstop. Ned Hoppus is at third. And in the outfield, left to right, Ian Ratner, William Tamajian, and Nick Guthrie. And then Mr. Sports Center top 10 is behind home plate. Lee Rubin, with his diving catch last night, made number 8 on Sports Center's top plays. And don't think for a second that there wasn't a little roar in the dormitories last night when that made Sports Center. The boys were all up in their rooms. They weren't watching collectively, but they were all hoping that his catch would make it, and indeed he checked in at number 8.
Oh, yeah, it was a great catch with style points at the end. It was tremendous.
Again, the 0-2. Neal line drive right at O'Rourke. And Reese Toney matches his opposite number, Severio Longo. An 8-pitch inning. No score as we head to the second inning. Well, after Hurricane Debbie put a pause on the Little League Softball World Series for a couple of days, they are back in action down in Greenville, North Carolina, and you can see it right now over on ESPNU. Mexico playing Canada. And then coming up at 11 a.m., Arizona will play the Philippines in the purple bracket. All the fun continues on the ESPN networks. We've got the boys here in Bristol, Connecticut with Reese Toney leading off the top of the second inning. It's the District of Columbia versus Pennsylvania for a spot in Williamsport. This is the championship of the Mid-Atlantic region. It's just not fair when Severio Longo throws pitches like that, Runes.
I mean, the fastball is really has your attention, and then he flips that breaking ball in there. Goodness.
Loses that breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got good defense around him as always. At third, Rocco DeBronzo. Braden Pfeiffer at short. Dean Hamilton, the steady second baseman. Tyler Neal at first. Grounded up the middle. A diving stop by Pfeiffer. But by the time he recovers and throws, no chance to get the speedy Reese Toney, who reaches on an infield single for our first hit of the morning.
Boy, I'll tell you, if you're the team from Capitol Hill Little League in D.C., you couldn't have a better start to this game. Reese Toney throwing strikes. 3 up, 3 down. What an effort by Braden Pfeiffer right here. No chance to get the speedy Toney, but an incredible defensive play.
And now Casey Meyer, who was so good in the win last night on the mound, and that he was able to pitch to contact and save the bullpen, allows for DC to be set up perfectly here in this ball game.
It was a pitching clinic by Casey Meyer. Just fearlessly attacked the strike zone, used his defense. He was, you talk about complimentary baseball. This DC defense is excellent, and he pitched right into it.
And his sock game is strong as ever.
Sure is. Elite stirrup game by the Capitol Hill Little League.
Yeah, he threw a 7-hitter, allowed just 1 run late, no walks, only 1 strikeout. And how good was he on our interview? It aired on SportsCenter last night. Just
best.
Mature beyond his years, and so much fun to watch pitch, and then so much fun to chat with both before and after the game. Foul tip held on to by Wes Steves for the first out.
Yeah, Longo, Severio Longo's, you see the fastball is a big one, and you've got to respect the breaking ball too. That's why he has been so dominant in Little League Baseball. Very talented.
Ian Ratner is the batter. Nothing in 2. Lots of defensive changes. Rocco DeBronzo has moved out to left field, replacing Tyler Wexler. Tyler Neal has moved from first base to third base. That pitch misses. 1-2. Brody Gage is now at first base. And Civiter has taken Grayson Gage's spot out in right. Second straight punch out for Severio Longo.
Boy, Longo punched out Meyer on the fastball, and then Ratner right there on that really good breaking ball. Just the depth of that pitch is something special.
Snap throw to first. Back easily as Reese Toney, who led off this inning with an infield single.
It's interesting, Doug. This is the first time in the tournament that Pennsylvania has really been pressed at all, but they don't seem shaken by it. And maybe that's because Severio Longo's on the mound.
Yeah.
But it does. This is the least comfortable start to a game for the team for Pennsylvania.
William Craddock awaits the 1-1 out in front of the breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Craddock had a big base hit, scored a run in the game against Maryland last night. And after a leadoff single, Severio Longo strikes out the side in order.
Yeah, this breaking ball and then fastball pairing for Severio Longo, it is something special. Write that name down, Doug.
I'm doing it right now.
Little League World Series, year in and year out, this event makes us all smile. And a homer! Oh, go get it, big fella.
All the fun begins on the 14th of August, and here are the tickets punched I'm going to let you pronounce the team from Texas and the team from Washington, Rose.
Yeah, Bernie, Texas. It's right outside San Antonio, and Puyallup, Washington. That's near Seattle.
Congratulations to them. I'll take Lake Mary, Hinsdale, and Salem.
That's right. Yeah, the team from Washington, South Hill Little League, they were down to their final strike last night.
Wow.
Came back to beat the team from Idaho and advanced to Williamsport.
Well, this is one of 2 regional championships scheduled for Rainy Bristol, Connecticut today. We've got, as you saw in that graphic, the Metro Championship coming up this afternoon between New York and New Jersey. That also can be seen right here on ESPN. Again, the winner of this one punches that ticket. We start the bottom of the 2nd inning with Reese Toney on the hill after a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 1st, he's dealing with his opposite number, Severio Longo.
Reese Toney's been awesome so far. I mean, as intimidating as this Pennsylvania offense is, Reese Toney started the 1st inning just throwing it right in there. And I know Tyler Neal hit that ball hard to end the inning, but strikes are going to be the key for Reese Toney.
Well, he has swing and miss stuff. I mean, during the city-state tournament, he pitched 3 games, 12 1/3 innings, allowed 1 earned run, and struck out 23. So I'm no math major, but that's nearly 2 strikeouts per inning. This one popped up. Shallow right. O'Rourke able to make the play.
You don't really anticipate a pitcher's duel when you have this team from Council Rock, Newtown, but here we are.
Now here's Grayson Gage. Well, on Tuesday against Maryland, Gage had a big game, couple of hits, 3 RBIs. Dream vacation, the moon. I don't know if the moon's quite ready for that. It would not be a dream vacation, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what the hotel scenario is on the moon, but I'm going to pass.
Dream trip, dream adventure. I don't know, vacation.
I'm excited to see the pictures when they get back.
That pitch ties him up. Toney ahead in the count, 1-2.
I love Reese Toney's mechanics on the mound. It's just a very simple operation. He's got a quick arm, very repeatable, and throws a ton of strikes.
Always works out of the stretch, and you're right. He repeats it very, very well. Simple. Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit. Gage takes a turn. Nick Guthrie gets the ball back in. And that's the first hit of the morning for Pennsylvania.
It's a good swing. And I think when you're facing this team from Council Rock, Newtown, it's just a nice line drive. They all have such beautiful swings. You know, you figure, oh, if I get through Pfeiffer and Neal and Longo, I'm good. And then I'm telling you, you cannot sleep on the bottom of this order.
Well, Grayson Gage has been a wonderful addition to this all-star team this year, joining his cousin, Brody Gage, who we will see batting in a couple of ABs. Now up Gavin Caudle. As the rain picks up, you can probably hear that on our microphones. Line drive, base hit to right. Guthrie goes to his right and is going to have to cut it off in the gap. Grayson Gage rounds third. Here comes the throw, the tag. He's out. Guthrie to O'Rourke to Rubin to cut down the would-be first run of the day.
This is vintage Capitol Hill Little League. They have been so stellar defensively. Great tag by Rubin. Boy, that is great defense.
Number 99, Rocco DeBronzo.
So it's a single for Caudle. He takes second on the throw to the plate. So a runner in scoring position for number 99, Rocco DeBronzo, who started the game at third base. Now playing left field, and we'll have one of the grounds crew members come out and wipe off home plate. After that play at the plate, got a little dirty, a little muddy.
Yeah. Well done.
Well, Rocco says his special talent is cooking really good meals. Another one of his talents is that he eats a lot of food.
Rocco's a Philly kid who likes the Yankees. That we're going to have to talk about.
Yeah, wearing number 99, it's very clear where his loyalty lies.
Well, I think the Aaron Judge thing is acceptable, but rooting for the Yankees as a Philly kid? Come on. Sure, we got to.
I'll let you talk to him.
Yes, but what a great name, Rocco DeBronza.
Reaches out, punches it back to Tony, who recovers to get the out at first. So that defense plays a big role once again here for DC to keep zeros on the scoreboard.
Team from DC is fired up. We are playing good catch and putting up zeros. What a ball game.
Want your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. DC and PA, I don't think he's waving at us. He is the defensive aligner. Wes Estes behind the plate for Pennsylvania in this regional championship game. And again, the rain has picked up a bit, and the plan is just to play through it. It's not supposed to be really hard until later in the day. With Mike Rooney, I'm Doug Sherman. As we start the third inning, George Ashley takes a strike from Saverio Longo. The bottom of this DC lineup has delivered, especially last night against Maryland. Ashley scored a couple of runs, had a double and 2 at-bats.
Yeah, they were huge. They are not in this game without those bottom 6 hitters, that is for sure.
Well, that is Ryan Ewell now catching. Saverio Longo. Tyler Wexler's back into the game playing left field. Back into the game defensively, I should say. And Grayson Gage is back in defensively in right field for Will Siviter. And I do appreciate that Pennsylvania manager Brad Hamilton still manages as though the defensive play requirements are still in place, which they are not in Little League. We've got our continuous batting order, and therefore not everybody has to play in the field, but he still wants to allow for all of his players to get in for an inning or two out in the field.
Yeah, and I think the continuous batting order has been a home run for Little League. What a great adjustment that is. I'm sure it makes it way easier on the managers.
Makes it easier on me. My scorecard's not as messy.
Yeah, well said.
Payoff pitch to Ashley, and he takes ball 4. Second inning in a row that DC has gotten leadoff man aboard. And now Nick Guthrie, 5'1", 85 pounds. He's a 12-year-old at Stuart Hobson Middle School. Or check that, he is at Two Rivers Middle School. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it, 0-2.
Well, if nothing else, if you're Capitol Hill Little League, the walk by Ashley was a very good at-bat that consumed some pitch count from Longo.
That one misses outside. Tried to get Guthrie to chase. He wouldn't bite. Longo goes back to number 1 and blows him away. 5th strikeout already for Saverio Longo.
Yeah, even when Longo battles his command on occasion, his stuff is so explosive that just the talent is tremendous.
New baseball with the rain coming down. Longo gets a fresh one, a pearl, from the home plate umpire Darren Lambert. Ruben fouls it back, 1-1. Yeah, if you're a pitcher, Runes, under conditions like this, what would you say the best practice is to try to keep your right hand dry?
Yeah, I would say you can see he's rubbing his pants, trying to keep that hand dry. The baseball, I think the best case scenario there is keep it in your glove as much as possible. Keep it shielded from the rain. I mean, he's doing everything he can. And then get a new one when you need one.
During your many years as a coach in the state of Arizona, it wasn't such a big deal.
As a high school coach in suburban Philly, this very much is my jam.
Yes.
At Arizona State, not at all.
Strike 3 called. Ruben is retired.
Boy, Longo's fastball, especially when it's up in the zone, it just explodes into the catcher's mitt.
William Tumajian, the 11th and final batter in this continuous batting order, because once again, DC's playing a player short with a knee injury suffered yesterday by Darren Cawley. Darren had to go to urgent care this morning. They think the knee's going to be fine. It was more of a bruise, but not able to play today, so going a man down.
Ball.
3-0 to Tumajian. Ball 4. Ashley moves to second. Tumajian takes first. And with 2 outs, Washington, D.C. turns over the lineup.
Time. Dugout.
Looks like we're going to have a stoppage because of the rain.
In the dugouts, boys, in the dugouts,
Tarp duty, Doug.
You're not saying that like I'm going out there.
No, not yet.
I would wind up on Sports Center as one of those people underneath the tarp.
We are now in a weather delay.
A lot of pressure right here.
Sure is. And of course, we're staying on it here on ESPN, so the whole world is watching.
Yeah, they've done an awesome job all week with the tarp duty.
They have.
Yes.
And this field drains well. They take great care of it. And so we have every reason to think that they'll be able to get it covered in plenty of time to protect it. And we should be able to resume this game. But again, the rain is expected to come and go throughout the day, and we have been playing in an off and on steady rain since we began shortly after 10 o'clock. But it's gotten to a point now where the officials deemed it's a little harder than we want the boys to be playing in, so we'll take a break and hopefully wait for the next lull. I'm guessing they're also looking at the Doppler to see that this is the beginning of maybe a little harder stuff coming.
Yep, and it did start to pick up there. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Look at that. Sure. Like that's quality tarp play right there. Yeah. Well done, fellas.
All right, so while we wait out a weather delay, let's send you down to Greenville, North Carolina. Mexico and Canada playing right now in the Little League Softball World Series. We'll see you when the rain stops here in Bristol. After nearly an hour for a weather delay, the tarp is off the field here at the A. Bartlett Giamatti Little League Leadership Training Center in Bristol, Connecticut, just moments away from resuming this game. In the top of the third, here's what you missed. No surprise, Severio Longo has been pitching well.
Yeah, Severio Longo doing his thing. It's such a big arm. You see that great breaking ball right there. You'll see an explosive fastball as well. He is a handful on the mound, and he has been as advertised.
Let's go now, boys. Great job, Chad.
Severio Longo also had some good defense on both sides. This was a relay that kept the game scoreless.
Yeah, watch this cutoff from Brady Thomas right here. The team from Capitol Hill Little League have played tremendous defense this entire tournament. Play of the game so far.
Got it! Yeah!
Grayson Gage thought he had gotten in, but a better defensive play kept him from reaching the plate in time. And this is what's on the line. The winner will advance to Williamsport to play in the Little League World Series It would be the first time in 19 years for Council Rock Newtown Little League to get there. DC's never had one of its teams make it to the Little League World Series, and Capitol Hill has already done more than I think a lot of folks would have thought when we got here last weekend, that they are 2-1, and they are going toe-to-toe with the team that's been the best team so far this week.
And we just, to your point, Doug, we haven't seen that. You know, no one has been able to contain the Pennsylvania offense, and for D.C., Reese Toney got them 2 zeros. They played their signature defense, and here we go.
Well, the boys have had a lot of downtime this week. For Pennsylvania, they haven't played since Tuesday, so they've done a lot of swimming. They've gone out to eat with the parents. They played a lot of cards in the dormitories, which are right next door. And apparently, Runes, they watched horror movies. The coaches didn't watch with them, but the boys enjoy horror movies, which makes no sense to me. Why on earth would I want to be scared for 2 hours?
Don't.
That's not entertaining.
Not my genre.
But the boys were into it, and apparently there's a discrepancy between who's the best card player. Is it Brody? Is it Ryan? Coach Brad? They went back and forth. Yeah, the card players coming back out of their first base dugout. And here's a game track for you to let you know where we are. Top of the 3rd inning with a couple of runners on base. Severio Longo already has 6 strikeouts out of the first 8 outs he's recorded. However, a little bit of wildness in the 3rd. He's got a couple of runners on base, having walked 2 batters.
Yeah, he's going to have to pitch out of a little bit of a pickle here. Now, the good news for Severio Longo is because his 2-pitch arsenal is so outstanding, he's always the strikeout's always in play for him.
In his first outing here this week on Tuesday against Maryland, he pitched 3 no-hit innings, did walk a couple, struck out 7, so he's on a similar type path right now. And we also don't know if with this nearly hour-long rain delay, we're going to have pitching changes and defensive changes. I also think with the rain coming down real heavily before the delay, were those 2 walks that Longo issued a byproduct of a wet baseball and a wet hand.
Yeah, hard to say, but it does look like the conditions will be better now. By the way, how about Bon Jovi is translating over generations? The team from D.C. really digging the Bon Jovi music here.
Well, we got a Jersey team coming up. Here's the regional championships to come here on ESPN. Morristown, New Jersey. I bet you those folks know all about Bon Jovi. Scheduled for a 1 o'clock start right here in Bristol against Staten Island, New York. Again, these are all single elimination, winner take all. Every one of these regions will have a team representing it in Williamsport this coming week. So now Newtown has retaken the field, and indeed, Severio Longo, the tall right-hander, is back on the hill, loosening up. I mean, we're used to at the major league level. If you had a delay like this, the guy who is on the mound would take incremental bullpens to simulate and keep the arm warm. At the Little League level, are these guys doing anything like that during an hour-long rain delay?
No, I just think, it's an hour, so you're right. It's well within what would even a big league pitcher be fine. The big league pitcher be on, like to your point, on the bike and doing all these calisthenics. Severio Longo's 12 years old. He's
let's go.
Who knows if he's ever even stretched before? It's just grip it and rip it.
Love it. So the runner at second is George Ashley. The runner at first, William Tumasian. They both walked, and we resume play here in the top of the 3rd inning with the leadoff man, Lan O'Rourke, who was a strikeout victim in the 1st inning. Officially a 58-minute rain delay. And again, this game started at shortly past 10 a.m., moving it up by a few hours to try and avoid the worst of the rain that is coming later today from the remnants of Hurricane Debbie. Slow roller to short. Pfeiffer gets the force at second, and that retires the side. Severio Longo looks good after the delay, and once again that defense playing a big role behind him. This regional championship game is a rematch from a first-round game we had back on Sunday that was dominated by Pennsylvania. They had so many key players we couldn't fit them all into that Pennsylvania part of the graphic. Dean Hamilton was 3 for 4 with an RBI, pitched 3 scoreless innings of relief. But so far today, Runes, a much different story when these 2 teams have taken the field together.
Yeah, Reese Toney has been awesome, just throwing strikes, no walks, and has done the job.
He's Mike Rooney. I'm Doug Sherman. Glad you're with us after our weather delay. Bottom of the third with Reese Toney on the mound facing Brody Gage. Well, not only, as we saw in the graphic, can Brody Gage do a back handspring, he can also do a split, which is handy for somebody who plays first base. Bouncing ball to third off the glove of Hoppus. It's a leadoff base runner for Pennsylvania.
Well hit by Gage, and this is a play that the team from D.C., they've made a lot of those types of plays, not easy ones. So Pennsylvania with a chance here.
On the error, Gage is at first. Ryan Ewell is the batter. 5.5. Pitch in the dirt. Easily down to second. On the wild pitch goes Brody Gage.
Reese Toney, that's a good job. A little bit of adversity there. You have an error and then a wild pitch, and right back with a strike.
Well, one of the neat things Pennsylvania manager Brad Hamilton said about this team that is 17-0 this summer. 17-0.
Amazing.
They self-police themselves.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool for a bunch of 12-year-olds.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a maturity on this team, and you wonder how the break might have really helped the team for Pennsylvania, that when you're a heavy favorite like this, you might feel some extra pressure.
Chopper to third. Another opportunity for Hoppus. This one fielded cleanly. Gets the out at first. Sliding into third base, Brody Gage. So the potential go-ahead run is getting closer.
Great base running by Brody Gage right here. So important in Little League Baseball to get to third base, because there are a decent number of pass balls and wild pitches. And at this point, this will be a run.
Now, Wes Steve, who lists his height at 5 feet 5 2/28 inches. Have you ever been so precise on anything in your life, Mike?
No, but I could use the 25/100th of an inch. I'll take it. I think Wes is on to something.
Well, then I'm curious. He only is 110 pounds, no ounces. So why wouldn't you want? I thought that was interesting. He hits a bouncer by the mound. Runner holds. Now, what do you think about Brody Gage at third? Should he have gone for it there as the ball was bouncing? Once it got by the pitcher, I thought he had a chance.
Yeah, I wonder if he thought the pitcher, Reese Toney, had a chance at that. Just a little bit of indecision. That is a tough base running play.
Yeah.
Any ball to the infielder, you're going. To the pitcher, you're staying. But another key moment in this game.
And I guess better to be safe than sorry. So he is still at third with 2 outs. As Brady Thomas made the play to first base. Will Siviter the batter. He's the 11th man in this 12-man continuous lineup.
Isn't it amazing, this team from Capitol Hill Little League? They just have a knack for surviving moments in games.
And don't sleep on the bottom of his Pennsylvania lineup. Siviter in the game Tuesday against Maryland had a 2-run triple. His other plate appearance, he was robbed of extra bases on a great defensive play. Toney's 0-2 pitch fouled away.
The swings from the Pennsylvania team have been very good. The conditions are a little trickier today, but this is not what we've seen from Pennsylvania the whole tournament. We're in the third inning. They have not turned the lineup over yet.
Nope. And again, the 0-2 pitch. Siviter bounces it by the mound into center field. The second baseman collided with the umpire. Don't think he would have had a chance at it. It's an RBI single to get Pennsylvania on the board first.
Boy, what a huge swing by Will Civiter right there. 2 strikes and 2 outs. I agree. There's no way that O'Rourke is making that play, and the momentum change. Yep, nothing's going to change there. It's still going to be, even if he catches it, still a run. And a huge run.
Yeah, Civiter delivers. And here is Tyler Wexler, who also was productive against Maryland on Tuesday. How about your 12-hitter going 2 for 2 with a single, a triple, 2 runs scored, and an RBI?
The depth has depth. And Reese Toney, what a great, it's just everything about his delivery. It's so smooth. Just a clean arm. He repeats, and even after giving up that run, right back with strike 1.
One run on 3 hits for Pennsylvania, no runs, a hit, and an error for Washington, D.C. And that error led to the run that scored here in the inning. Slow roller, fielded cleanly by Toney, and that retires the side. Pennsylvania, though, puts up a big run, taking advantage of the error. We're halfway home, 1-0 PA. From Little League to the major leagues, one story after another. How about Pete Alonso? Went to the University of Florida without a scholarship, and now he's a superstar in the majors. And on Sunday Night Baseball, you can see Pete Alonso as the Mets and the Mariners wrap up their 3-game series in Seattle. The resurgent Mets looking to take down the M's. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown.
Bet you Pete Alonso was throwing some gas in Little League. Tampa Bay Little League.
Bigger than most of the kids around him, I would think. As the rain is picked up in earnest once again here in Bristol, which is to be expected. And actually, while we had the tarp on the field, as soon as they got the tarp on the field a little over an hour ago, the sun came back out. But then it's been back and forth. And so they're just trying to gauge as best they can when to play and when to put the tarp on. Brady Thomas, the batter, with some defensive changes. Rocco DeBronzo is back in left field for PA. And Will Civiter is back in right field. That ball just slipped right out of the hand of the pitcher, Severio Longo.
You know what's interesting? Yeah, that is some slippage. It's kind of cool for kids to wear towels in their back pocket now.
Thomas swings and misses at the breaking ball, and he beats the play at first. So it's a strikeout, but by the time Ryan Ewell recovered, the hustling Brady Thomas reaches base.
Boy, that has been the way Capitol Hill Little League has played all week here. Just they take nothing and turn it into something. So scrappy. Yeah, Brady Thomas, there was no bad body language there. We were just on the hustle.
So he reaches on the wild pitch. Ned Hoppus, the number 3 hitter, and third baseman stands in. Pitch gets away. Throw down to second by Ewell. Not nearly in time. Thomas in scoring position. Washington, D.C. trying to answer right back after Pennsylvania took the lead in the last half inning, and you sensed that for Pennsylvania, that was a really big first run to take the lead, Runes.
Yeah, a little exhale moment. You know, this is the game to go to Williamsport, and for the team from Pennsylvania that is so heavily favored, you felt some tension.
High pop down the right field line, long run and a catch in foul ground by Civiter. Great heads up, ball gets away after the tag up. But Thomas will stay at third, so they've got the tying run at third with only 1 out.
I'll tell you, now you've got Ryan Ewell catching for the team from Council Rock Newtown, and He is a very important person in this game right now. Got to prevent all pass balls and wild pitches here.
Reese Toney had a single his first time. Pitch gets away again. Second time we've seen a pitch slip out of his hand.
Yep.
And so he gets a fresh baseball and shakes his head, and Longo heads back to the mound.
Yeah, Longo, he's wiping his hand on his pants, but I think the pants are probably soaked through by now. I wonder if we get him a towel or something to put in his back pocket, because I think the pants are, you're just more moisture there.
You can see he's fighting it now, the frustration on his face. I would also think it might ultimately limit him on what he is comfortable throwing, right?
Yeah, the breaking ball is a dangerous pitch right here.
And there it is.
Yeah, and you start to not trust the ball coming out of your hand. There's a little bit of a mental battle going on there for Saverio Longo.
Infield in on the 3-0 pitch. Goes to the fastball, ripped to right, and it's over the head of Siviter. Washington, D.C. with the quick answer. An RBI double by Reese Toney. Ties the score at 1. Well, Reese was 2 for 2 Monday against Delaware. He's 2 for 2 so far in this one against PA.
How about that? What a beautiful swing. This, I'd say, the hardest hit ball of the ball game right there.
And they gave him the green light on a 3-0 pitch, and he delivered. And I wonder if he was sitting fastball there. I presume he was, with the way the at-bat was going. Got a good look, and why not take a rip? And he hit it hard.
3-0 green light. Love that.
Here's Casey Meyer, the winner on the mound for Washington, D.C. last night. 6 innings, 7 hits allowed. He gave up 1 run, didn't walk anybody, had 1 strikeout, and then gave a major league interview with us afterwards.
Amazing.
Bright young kid. Three balls and a strike.
I think the Pennsylvania coaches might go visit Saverio Longo here in a second. This has been a lot for him to battle through.
His 3rd walk of the last 2 innings. And you can just tell by his body language and his face he is not having fun out there right now.
Yep. I think this is a great visit to the mound.
Yeah. And we can take a listen, eavesdrop, as Pennsylvania manager Brad Hamilton wears a microphone for us.
Look at me. Smile. Smile. Look at me. Smile. I got to see those pearlies. Smile. Smile. You've been here 1,000 times. I told you this the other day. Throw strikes, let your defense go. Got it? You're doing great. Look at me. You're doing great. You're here. Look at our feet. Calm down and go throw your strike. Excellent job. You hear me?
I like it. Look at your feet, little mental cue, and trust your talent.
Brad Hamilton was a high-level pitcher himself at Neshaminy Little League, Philadelphia area, went to Archbishop Lloyd High School, and then was good enough that he went to Temple University on a scholarship, pitched for the Owls. So when he goes to the mound, he has credibility. Saverio Longo knows that his manager knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. And the advice there was just spot on. Great coaching.
Ian Ratner falls behind 0-2. Ratner down on strikes. That is only the 2nd out. Remember, this inning began with a strikeout, but the pitch got away, and Brady Thomas reached and then came around to score.
Yeah, and I think for Saverio Longo, this innings, there's been just a lot going on, and he probably felt like, gosh, are you sure? Been out here for a minute.
Can't get back to the dugout quickly enough.
Yeah.
He starts Craddock off with a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1.
What a great visit by Brad Hamilton, though. That was well done.
As you can tell, the rain has picked up again. Since the visit, 5 straight strikes.
Yep.
Sharply hit up the middle. They get the force at second base. Hamilton to Pfeiffer. But a productive top of the 4th inning as Washington, D.C. comes up with the tying run. The excitement of the World Series can be downloaded in the new Little League World Series app. Fans can view schedules, watch highlights, and plan their experience using the official LLWS app. Download today for Apple and Android devices. And Mike Rooney, it is that time of year. The Little League World Series is just days away.
So great. What a great event.
Tickets are being punched all around the country, including a pair here today. This is the Mid-Atlantic Region Championship between Washington, D.C. and Pennsylvania, winner take all. And then following this one, we will have the Metro Championship between New York and New Jersey. Dean Hamilton leads off for Council Rock Newtown Little League from Pennsylvania.
This is a big moment in this game for me, Sherm, because, you know, for Newtown, Council Rock Newtown, you're flipping your order over. The top of this lineup's been tremendous, but Reese Toney's been brilliant on the mound for DC.
Slapped to third, gloved by Hoppus. It's a nice play for the first out.
The team from Capitol Hill Little League, they can defend the field. Look at this. This is a little tough little short hop here. Set our feet. Throw a BB across the diamond. Capitol Hill's been throwing the leather around all week.
And we've got 3 defensive changes around Reese Toney this inning. Lan O'Rourke has moved from second base out to center. William Tamajian has moved from center to right. And Nick Guthrie from right to second base.
It's funny, Braden Pfeiffer, who I think is just an excellent hitter. What a great swing. His dad, Doug, pitched at Archbishop Wood and then pitched at Temple. So, see, that's a good lesson there, Doug. Even the pitchers are raising hitters.
I like it. Well, he's a very good shortstop. Great in the number 2 hole for Pennsylvania. Had a hit and an RBI, a triple against D.C. the first time. Had a hit and a run scored against Maryland in their second game. And there really has not been a dominant offensive player for Pennsylvania in what's been a dominating offensive performance all week long.
Yep. I guess when everybody hits, there is no dominant hitter, right? It's just been up and down the lineup. Braden Pfeiffer is aggressive, though. I think he is looking to swing right here.
He really can't work around any part of this lineup. Sharply hit up the middle. Off the glove of Thomas. He recovers, but not in time. A 1-out infield single for Pfeiffer.
Brady Thomas almost made an incredible play here. This ball was stung. Now, I know the wet grass is slowing it down a little bit, but justice served there. Pfeiffer deserved the hit on that one.
So now Tyler Neal, where's the number 11? For good reason. It's the same number both his father and his great-grandfather wore for Newtown Little League. And now his father recently came into possession of his grandfather's long-lost Little League uniform, and they didn't know that great-grandfather wore number 11. It was a coincidence. So 3 generations over 4 generations of Neals have worn the number 11 for Newtown Little League.
That is really cool. Now, all that said, I still never seen the dad or the great-grandfather hit, but I'm telling you, I think Tyler Neal's the best hitter in the family.
Okay.
This kid can really swing it.
Well, he is 6 for 8 this region. Had a loud out his first time here today on a screaming line drive to the second baseman, so he's making a pretty good case for that claim.
Yeah, that's a really good take right there. Something soft down in the bottom of the strike zone. I wonder if we're giving Tyler Neal the 3-0 green light that Reese Toney had last half inning.
Why not?
I think we're in swing mode here.
Here comes the 3-0 from Toney. Good pitch on the outer half.
It is a gorgeous left-handed swing. Little open stance, too.
And by the way, Tyler's dad, Kyle, is one of the coaches on this team. And there is that beautiful swing.
That could score a run. Do they send it? No.
Pfeiffer slams on the brakes at third. With one out in the inning, runners on second and third on a beautiful stroke the other way by Neild.
You're not kidding, Doug. What a gorgeous swing. I'll tell you, if not for the wet grass, that ball may be going to the fence right there. You don't see at this level kids put a charge into it the opposite way. That was gorgeous.
And so now the dangerous cleanup hitter, Severio Longo, will stand in after a fresh baseball was curried out to the mound. And now we're going to have a visit from the manager for D.C. with a question for the umpire. Brian Thomas.
One visit. Hey, I'm going to get some more. I'm going to see if I can put some more quick dry. You're slipping, right? Yeah? All right. Hey, you're fine. Hey, Reese, you're fine. You're good. Let's go. Hey, championship level pitching right here. Pitching a heck of a game. Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. You're pitching great, man. Pitching great. You're good, man. Keep your head up. Championship level pitching. Okay, off the mound, guys.
We're off the mound. Get the guys off the mound.
Hey, guys, off the mound. Casey, off the mound, off the mound, off the mound. Go talk to him on the side. Hey, you're pitching great. You're pitching great. Off the mound, off the mound, off the mound.
Thank you. Oh, dude, anytime, man. Especially this kind of freaking weather. You know?
We'll take a 1-minute break while they work on the mound. And back to Bristol right after this. On a showery day in Bristol, Connecticut, here is what's at stake in this Mid-Atlantic Region Championship game. Capitol Hill Little League from Washington, D.C., trying to become the first team from the district ever to reach the Little League World Series. Meanwhile, for Council Rock Newtown, this Little League program has World Series history, but it's been 19 years.
Yeah, and the teams from Pennsylvania have been just, it's been one of the dominant states in Little League Baseball. But the teams from D.C., just last year they're in the regional title game. This year they're in the regional title game. You know, it's the old Tiger Woods. Sherm, you just keep putting yourself in contention. And this is a moment in this game, but, hey, if you told me 1-1 in the fourth,
yeah,
I don't know. That would have seemed like a long shot, but the kids from D.C. have made it happen.
And again, when these two teams faced each other in their first game this past Sunday, it was one-sided. Pennsylvania dominated that game, and D.C. has hung right with them. Well, here's what you were talking about, Runes. California as a state has the most all-time championships in Williamsport, but PA is in a four-way tie for second, having won 4 times as a state.
Yeah, that is a cool graphic right there. Love to see all the variety, too. That team from California, El Segundo, last year. I'm pretty sure El Segundo, the home of George Brett, where he grew up. But, yeah, that team was something else.
Yeah, how about
Brody Brooks?
A walk-off home run to win the
cool.
Little League World Series.
It's like this generation's Cody Webster.
It's amazing. All right, they've got the quick dry out on the mound to give a little better footing to the pitcher, Reese Toney. They've cleaned up around home plate as well. For the moment, the rain has stopped. And we resume with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pennsylvania trying to retake the lead. Severio Longo with a chance to put himself back on top. He managed to get through the last half inning despite the rain while he was pitching. Now trying to do some damage at the plate. Got a piece. Catch is made at second base by Nick Guthrie. Big second out.
Boy, that's a huge out. That said, Grayson Gage is the one that stung that ball into right center field last at bat.
He has hit safely in his last 3 plate appearances here in the region. Pfeiffer at third, Neild at second. That is now 50 pitches thrown. to get the 11 outs for Reese Toney. And the umbrellas come back out. Breaking ball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a good take right there. This whole game, though, and it just feels like that's the story of the team from Capitol Hill Little League. When Reese Toney has needed to make a pitch, he has had one in his back pocket, and when they've needed to make a defensive play, they have been all over it.
Grayson Gage has had a lot of big moments this summer for Newtown Little League. Biggest before coming to Bristol. Runner goes to third. Runner comes home. And that retires the side. But the run does score, and Pennsylvania retakes the lead.
How about this? On the throw back to the mound, some aggressive base running by the team from Pennsylvania.
As you see, the tarp is being put back onto the field here at the Giamatti Center. And it's just one of those days. The rain comes and goes, and so that is what we are dealing with. But right before the stoppage, let's show you the play that on a delayed play, they steal home to retake the lead, Runes.
Yeah, and they've been timing this up, the throw back to the mound, and Toney just tries to be a little too quick. Does recover and record that out, but chalk that down as a big moment in this game. A steal of home to take the lead in a game to go to Williamsport.
Wow.
Braden Pfeiffer, did you?
So we will be back when we are ready to resume. Pennsylvania leads D.C. for a spot in the World Series. For now, we send you back down to North Carolina and the Softball World Series.
It off in the seventh. And it is going. A grand slam.
Back in Bristol, Connecticut, as the Mid-Atlantic Regional comes out of its second weather delay. 2 winners are scores. We head to the 5th inning. Pennsylvania has just retaken the lead on a delayed steal of home, which was just reviewed by the umpires, and that play does stand. So it's been upheld. And again, the winner of this one is headed to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series. The Pennsylvania Little League program hasn't been there in 19 years. Washington, D.C. has never been there. Welcome back, everybody. Along with Mike Rooney, I'm Doug Sherman. High stakes indeed. We are late in this ball game, and now 3 hours after this game started, let's give everybody tuning in an idea of what they've missed in this 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, and if you're the team from Pennsylvania, you are now 6 outs from Williamsport. Just incredible to think about.
Well, in the 3rd inning, first to break through, Pennsylvania.
And Will Siviter, this was a huge 2-out single right here. There was a lot of tension in this game, and Will Siviter gave Pennsylvania a little bit of momentum right there. The problem was for D.C., Reese Toney has been brilliant in this game. Brilliant on the mound, and then laces that double to right field. And just like they've done all week, the team from Capitol Hill Little League, they're right back in this ball game. Now here, Doug, this base running play. How about a steal of home to try and get yourself to Williamsport? That was with 2 outs. Braden Pfeiffer steals home, and we got a 2-1 ball game.
And so the rain has been ongoing throughout. That's the idea for today. We started early to try and get ahead of the worst of the weather that is coming in later today and tonight and overnight. And so it's been a rainy day, but the enthusiasm has not waned because, again, the stakes are so high. And Bruins, players on both sides just keep delivering time after time.
Yeah, two really good teams. You know, the team from Pennsylvania we knew was a juggernaut. The offensive talent was overwhelming. They scored 24 runs in their first 2 games. The team from D.C., just gutsy and fun. They got the D.C. wiggle going on. And each game, it's like they're finding new ways to win. And we got ourselves a real ball game here, Doug.
Now, we said off the top that Pennsylvania is the favorite in this. They have been the better team this week. D.C. views itself as the underdog. Would you say one or the other has more pressure at this moment because of what is at stake?
Well, I think when you get to this point in a game with this much on the line, the team with the lead has the most pressure. The first part of the game, the Pennsylvania team, you could feel this weighing on them a little bit. The team from D.C. was very loose. But I do think these last 6 outs for Pennsylvania, there's just something about trying to finish a game with this much on the line.
And again, with a second extended weather delay, what does that do to pitching, or do we not worry about that because they're 12 years old and they're just going to keep playing?
What you just said, they're 12 years old, and plus I think both teams are pretty fresh on the mound. You know, for D.C., they could bring Brady Thomas in. Pennsylvania's got a lot of depth, too, so I think you're going to be fine there. It's just who can make the plays with so much on the line.
And indeed, we are going to have a pitching change. Tyler Neal for Pennsylvania going through his warm-ups after this grounds crew has already put in a week's worth of work, and it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We commend them with all the rain that has come down throughout the morning and through the afternoon, and we are just about set to resume this thing.
Tyler Neal, another one of these very talented players on the Pennsylvania team. Be interested to see him on the mound, but boy, can he swing it from the left side.
So he replaces Saverio Longo, who put in 4 innings, dealt with some pretty tough conditions. Those 3 walks came when the rain was coming down the hardest, and he was having a hard time gripping the baseball.
Yeah, I think the 3 walks are not indicative of who Saverio Longo is. And remember, the only run he gave up was scored by Brady Thomas, who he struck out in that inning.
Yep.
Advanced on a wild pitch, strike 3.
Neal's first pitch misses high to George Ashley. It'll be Ashley, Nick Guthrie, and Lee Rubin, the 8, 9, and 10 hitters in this Washington, D.C. lineup. Ashley walked and was stranded in the 3rd. Foul ball at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So pitching, both teams are still in good shape despite the rain delays. Pennsylvania has not played since Tuesday, so everybody on their roster is available. No pitch count issues from previous days. And the only one not available for D.C. today is the young man who was so good pitching last night, pitched a complete game, and allows for the rest of the bullpen to be available. So Casey Myers, the only one not available for Washington, D.C. Ashley down on strikes.
Boy, that's a big out for Tyler Neal right there. You go to a full count, and it gets a little nervous. We know that leadoff walks can be an absolute catalyst for an offense.
And so now Nick Guthrie out in front of the breaking ball. So lots of defensive changes here as well, Runes, with Neal going from 3rd to the mound. Rocco DeBronzo, who started the game at 3rd, is back at 3rd base. Wes Steves, who just is retrieving that baseball. Now he's back behind the plate where he started. Ryan Ewell had been catching in between.
This PA defense, Doug, very strong up the middle. You got Pfeiffer at short and Hamilton at second, and then Saverio Longo in center field. Really athletic group up the middle.
And with Longo going out to center field, then Gavin Caudle shifts over to left field.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Strike 3 called. Guthrie is the second strikeout victim of Tyler Neal.
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking, Shermy. He goes to a full count, 2 consecutive hitters, and in both cases is able to compose himself and execute a strike. Well done by Neal.
And here is Lee Rubin, who made his way onto Sports Center last night. He made a great defensive play, diving as the catcher on a foul pop-up, and wound up logging in at number 8 on the Sports Center top 10. And I am certain there was a shout through the dormitories late last night when all the Washington, D.C. kids saw their teammate make it onto Sports Center.
Super cool. What a moment.
Gets a piece. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So this morning we had a 58-minute weather delay.
If there's a region MVP, the ground, I'm going to nominate the grounds crew right now.
No question. And then the second one was 53 minutes. Tell you what, that's a heck of a way to come out of the bullpen. Tyler Neal strikes out the side in order.
Yeah, not an easy assignment after the big delay, but look at that breaking ball. Tyler Neal, not just your left-handed hitter, getting it done on the bump, too.
The Little League Baseball Regionals on ESPN are brought to you by the new Fun 99 menu at Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic. With Mike Rooney, I'm Doug Sherman here in Bristol, Connecticut at the A. Bartlett Giamatti Little League Leadership Training Center that has taken all sorts of rain this week, and especially today. We've had a couple of extended delays, but the field is in good shape, and we continue in this game for a spot in the Little League World Series. Reese Toney continues on despite the delays. The right-hander for Washington, D.C. to begin the bottom of the 5th.
Last time we saw Grayson Gage, there was a lot of things going on. We had a steal a home and a third out at third. Got busy.
Gage was involved in one of the more exciting plays of the ball game back in the 2nd inning when he was cut down trying to score on a wonderful relay from the outfield. A bang-bang play at home plate, and Gage was out.
Yeah, the team from Capital Little League has done what no one else could do in this region, and that is play this Pennsylvania team to a very close game.
Three balls and a strike. And to illustrate the domination you were talking about, Mike, for Pennsylvania in its first 2 games, through 10 innings, scored 24 runs on 27 hits. Big part of that is their 5-hole hitter, Grayson Gage. He's aboard with a leadoff single. His 2nd hit of the game.
You see the ball getting through the infield a little bit better than it was earlier in the day when it was super soaked and the grass was grabbing everything. Good piece of hitting by Grayson Gage.
And so now Gavin Caudle. It was his base hit in the 2nd that Gage tried to score on.
Regardless of what the outcome's going to be today, Reese Toney for Capital Little League, his strike throwing ability has been just brilliant.
Well, Gavin Caudle is another one of the ice hockey players on this Pennsylvania team. He's a defenseman for the Princeton Junior Tigers. And he says if he doesn't make it to the NHL, then he wants to be a physical therapist for a sports team. And Gavin says his hockey coach, Coach Greg, passed away earlier this year. His message, quote, "Be present, be where your feet are," is very much like the message he gets here in baseball from Coach Brad. And Gavin says it's comforting for him because it feels like Coach Greg is right here on the diamond with him. The force at second is completed. Nice job on the infield by Hoppus and Guthrie to get the out.
This is not an easy play. You got the ball coming off the slick grass right here. Nice one-handed grab and transfer. All week, the team from DC has been so skilled in the infield.
Rocco DeBronzo, big swing and a miss. Rocco plays AAU basketball, and he is expected to keep on growing. His dad is 6'7". Rocco's up to 5'5", 105 pounds, a 12-year-old still growing at St. Andrew's School. And all the while, Reese Tony just keeps throwing strikes.
Yeah, I mean, his pitch count only at 65 could very well throw a complete game here.
Well, much like his teammate last night, Casey Meyer pitching to contact. He has yet to strike anyone out.
Yeah, and it's interesting. His breaking ball has got a little bit of a cutter action to it. It's more horizontal than vertical, so I'm sure for the Pennsylvania hitters, it's hard to differentiate the two pitches.
Down low, count goes full to DeBronzo. And there is last night's pitching hero for Capitol Hill Little League. Got them to this winner-take-all championship game today. And we'd like to welcome those of you who are watching the Little League Softball World Series from Greenville, North Carolina. Along with Mike Rooney, I'm Doug Sherman. We're in rainy Bristol, Connecticut at the moment. The skies are brightening just a bit. Ball 4. And let's show you the bracket here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And it's down to Pennsylvania and Washington, D.C. Each of these regions being held, 3 regions simultaneous here in Bristol, Connecticut, have 4 teams each, 4 states, or for Washington, D.C., of course, a city, a district. And so you've got a 1 in 4 chance when you get here to make it to Williamsport. And one of these 2 teams will be headed that way. Now, Pennsylvania is going to be, if they win, they'll go back to their home state. But for D.C., this would be unprecedented.
100%. And you said 1 in 4, and technically that's correct, but with what we saw from the Pennsylvania team early in the region, it felt like 1 in a million for everybody else. They were so dominant. 24-2 they outscored their opponents in their first 2 games to the team from Council Rock, Newtown, and this team from D.C., Capitol Hill Little League. They've had a little bit of magic today, and we have got ourselves a ball game.
Strike called to Brody Gage. See the managers, Brian Thomas and Brad Hamilton. And we appreciate both of them wearing microphones for us today to help bring to the viewers a little taste of what actually goes on between the white lines.
And both managers have been brilliant in their trips to the mound, just calming their players down with so much on the line.
Around the infield for Washington, D.C., Casey Myers at first. Nick Guthrie at second. Brady Thomas, who's been so good with the glove this week at shortstop. Really, as have the rest of the infielders. Ned Hoppus as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tony misses. And in the outfield, Lan O'Rourke is in center, flanked by Ian Ratner in left and William Tumajian. out in right field. And that one's hit into right field for a base hit. The bases are loaded.
So we're starting to see this Pennsylvania offense that have been so famous in this region tournament. And it's the depth of the group, to me, Doug, that just blows you away. There is no place to hide in the Pennsylvania batting order.
Well, manager Brad Hamilton told us last Friday when he got here, carousels win games. He loves singles and doubles.
All right.
Not looking to drive the ball out of the ballpark necessarily. Of course, he would take one here.
Yeah, home run's not very democratic, right? It's just very, very selfish.
And you just wonder if fatigue is setting in on Reese Toney. That's his 23rd pitch of the inning. He has issued his first walk of the game here in the inning and dealing with a bases loaded jam, only one out. Infield in, Hoppus, Thomas, Guthrie, and Meyer. Ripped deep to left, and that could clear the bases. Caudle scores. DeBronzo scores. Here comes Brody Gage. He will score a bases clearing double off the bat of Ryan Ewell.
Have yourself a moment, Ryan Ewell. It's a hanging breaking ball, and he stays on it beautifully and shows you the strength. No chance for that to get caught.
Time's called.
That could be the hit that sends your team to Williamsport.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All right? Take a moment. All right? All right, Brady. Hey, let's go, boys. Let's play some defense. Hey, let's go. Play some defense. All right? You're going to go to shortstop. You're going to go to third. You're going to go to first, okay? Okay? Let's go. Take the sleeves off. Take the sleeves off. Go get it. Go get it.
So while the manager's son takes the mound, we'll take a break here from Bristol. Reese Toney has moved over to first base and being lifted by his teammates, Nick Guthrie. Tough conditions for Toney. He pitched through multiple rain delays of nearly an hour each and just perhaps ran out of steam here in the fifth inning.
Yeah, and he's been awesome. I mean, he held down a Pennsylvania offense that hadn't happened this week. So I think, you know, in many ways, the Pennsylvania hitters just started to figure it out at the end. But Reese Toney's been brilliant offensively. He was great on the mound and gave his team a chance in this game.
And so now Reese Toney is at first. Ned Hoppus at short. Casey Meyer at third. Brady Thomas on the mound trying to get out of this inning with one out. Rain coming back down. Dealing with Wes Steves. And Brady Thomas was the winning pitcher Monday against Delaware. He started the game, pitched 3 2/3 of 3-hit, no-run baseball. Struck out 5, walked only 1. And he is not limited by any pitch counts here today, so he can easily finish this thing out if he is so able. Runner at second, Ryan Ewell, his 3-run double, the big hit so far. Thomas strikes out Estes.
How about that? Brady Thomas throwing that good breaking ball. Had a lot of success with that the other day, too.
And now Will Siviter. His RBI single broke the scoring back in the 3rd inning.
And Siviter's single, that was huge because you could really feel a lot of pressure on the team from Pennsylvania. There was a base running play, the hitter before, where they could have scored a run. They didn't. And his single really bailed them out and seemed to let the Pennsylvania team settle into the game.
Thomas gets the strike. Not the biggest guy on the mound, 5 feet, 83 pounds, still only 11 years old. He's a rising 6th grader at Watkins Elementary School. Grounder right side, Guthrie throws on to first to Tony to retire the side. But Pennsylvania has seized control with a 5-1 lead. DC has 3 more outs upcoming in the top of the 6th. Back in Bristol, last ups coming for Washington, D.C. as we head to the top of the 6th inning. What's been a magical summer for Capitol Hill Little League will come to an end here right now if they can't come up with 4 runs against Newtown, Pennsylvania. And for Newtown, trying to get itself back to the Little League World Series, Mike.
Yeah, for the Council Rock Newtown Little League, trying to do it for the first time in nearly 20 years. A lot going on here.
Ryan Ewell's back behind the plate for Pennsylvania. Breaking ball from Tyler Neal misses. Will Siviter is back in right field for Pennsylvania. How about the game and the week Tyler Neal is having? Not only has he been near perfect at the plate, hitting with power, producing runs. First inning of relief in the 5th. He struck out the side in order, now dealing with William Tumajian.
Yeah, and you're right. He has been on a team full of stars. He has been a big star.
Although he issues. Oh, full count.
William Tumajian, he got you.
Got
sure.
me.
Yeah.
Got me.
Baited you into it. Not the umpire, though.
Rocco DeBronzo, the third baseman, has been playing in on the grass. Now the payoff pitch. Tumajian fights off another one.
Oh, this at bat from Tumajian. This is like the book cover for Capitol Hill Little League. They have been so scrappy all week. Just so fun to watch.
Now he will take his base. Second time William has walked today. Well, you need base runners if you're DC. They've got their first one on, and now back to the top of the order, and Lan O'Rourke. Lan is said to be the class clown. I guess that stands to reason. The Simpsons' favorite team likes to laugh, likes to make others laugh.
Bart Simpson classifies as a class clown, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe more of a class problem.
Rain picks up again. One ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Lan O'Rourke, his base running in their game earlier in the week was really the difference in a 1-0 victory. Very good leadoff hitter.
They will do it again. Ball fouled into the first base stands. Well, Severio Longo is the pitcher of record on the winning side. 4 terrific innings of 2-hit ball, gave up only a run, and struck out 8. The battle continues here between Neal and O'Rourke. And Longo is out in center field now. We saw the frustration building when the weather turned the first time, and he was having trouble gripping the baseball and got a great mound visit. Brad Hamilton had some wonderful words of advice and really settled him in.
Yeah, it's for Severio Longo, who's often very dominant on the mound. Today was just not going to be that type of game. He just needed to be effective and efficient, and he was.
No doubt. Breaking ball, called strike 3. 4th punch out for Tyler Neal.
Boy, this might be the best breaking ball that Neal's thrown today. Look at the depth on this pitch. Just like a bombardier right there. Wow.
The batter is Brady Thomas. Line drive up the middle, off the glove of the second baseman Hamilton. They are able to get the out at second. Pennsylvania is now 1 out away from the World Series.
This is a nice job by Hamilton here because it's a line drive, so the base runner is kind of frozen. Hamilton doesn't panic, just stays with it. Gets the out. Well done.
It's down to Ned Hoppus, the 3-hole hitter, to keep it alive for Capitol Hill Little League.
That's where it gets tense, Doug. That last out.
There's that breaking ball again. Now 1 strike away. Yeah, to get 18 outs in a game, that 18th, I imagine, can be the toughest every time.
A lot of deep breaths in the stands, in the dugout, and on the field.
Neal's 1-2 pitch. Foul back.
Just all the foul balls from the team from D.C. They just find a way. So scrappy.
Another foul off.
I mean, there's been 7 foul balls, I think, in this inning. They're just, what a great lasting memory with this team from D.C. This is what they are about. They just never quit.
Neal again trying to close it out. Check swing, ball gets away. Hoppus takes his base, and down to second goes Thomas. So the inning continues, the game continues. Hoppus reaches on the wildest pitch, a wild pitch, and Reese Toney, the cleanup hitter, with a big swing. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI double.
Yeah, this is exactly who you want up if you're Capitol Hill Little League. Reese Toney has been awesome this week.
0-2.
Back-to-back breaking ball. See if he can make a quick adjustment to that curveball.
And there it is. Council Rock Newtown will head home to Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series. For the first time
you guys played a hell of a game. Hell of a game. Great game, guys. Awesome
since
game.
2005, Council Rock Newtown Little League is headed back to Williamsport.
Boy, the team from PA, they really earned it. They were dominant all week, and then Capitol Hill Little League gave them a real run for it today. But in the end, Council Rock Newtown, a heck of a team that will represent the Mid-Atlantic region very well in Williamsport.
Thank you very much. Good job. Way to represent the A-10, baby.
They overcame the weather. 2 delays of nearly 2 hours combined. They overcome a very game team from Washington, D.C. But it's Pennsylvania that will represent the Mid-Atlantic region at the Little League World Series. Congratulations. PA moves on. For Mike Rooney and our entire crew, I'm Doug Sherman. We'll be back with you in about a half an hour for the Metro Championship. So long for now from Bristol.